Hello crafty friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Adrienne, better known online as Alice Scraps Wonderland. Today, I'm sharing how to create this button-shaped interactive mini album from scratch. From creating the album base, creating flips and pockets, to decorating the pages and the cover, I take you from start to finish with every step you need to recreate your own version. I've got all of the supplies listed in the description box for you, and be sure to give this video a like and to hit the subscribe button as it really helps the channel out. Now, let's get right into this tutorial. To create the chipboard covers, I'm using two sizes of embroidery hoops, using the inner circle piece only for tracing to create a round button shape. I'm using a heavy white chipboard for this and will need one piece for the back cover and 3 layers for the front cover. I've already traced and cut one larger circle and then traced a second larger circle. On this second circle, trace out the smaller embroidery hoop in the center and then cut this out with scissors and a craft knife. For layer 3 of the button cover, trace the circle with the hole onto another piece of chipboard, then die cut or punch out 4 small circles from white cardstock. Use some washi tape or low-tack craft tape to place the die cut circles onto the third trace shape. Trace these to create a 4-hole button. Use a craft knife to cut out these 4 small holes and then scissors to cut out the edge. Don't cut the inner circle, as this was just for placement of the 4 tiny circles in the center. Use a sanding block and some sandpaper to smooth any rough cut edges on your chipboard cutouts. And here's how these 3 pieces for the front cover layer up to create a dimensional button shape. Finally, trace and cut out a large circle for the back cover. I'm going to be using paper from both Sweet Spring and Buttons and Keepsakes for this whole album. For the back cover of the album, I want to cover it with a blue ribbon paper from the Buttons and Keepsakes 8x8 paper pad. I trace the chipboard piece onto the paper and cut it out with scissors. Also, you can see I've been labeling sides in pencil, and I think you will also find this helpful since these are cut by hand and won't be 100% symmetrical. Then trace and cut out the inside patterned paper for the inside of the back cover. I used an 8x8 paper from Sweet Spring. Make sure you set aside all of these patterned papers. We'll be attaching them to the chipboard later. For the paper that peeks out from the small circle cutouts on the front of the album, I'm using a 12x12 piece of Sweet Spring paper. It just needs to cover the center where the 4 small holes are, so it's okay if it doesn't cover an entire circle. I used the chipboard layer with the 4 holes in it to help me figure out exactly the portion of the pattern I wanted peeking out of the holes, and trace just the outer edge of the chipboard. Cut this out and set it aside. I'm using 2 duplicate pieces of 12x12 paper from Buttons and Keepsakes for the other 2 layers of the front cover. Start by tracing the chipboard piece with the 4 holes in it, tracing the outer edge and the 4 holes. Cut this out with a craft knife and scissors. We want the pattern to match and be seamless between the 2 pieces. Line this cut patterned paper up with the second sheet of the same pattern and trace the outer edge. Then line the chipboard with the large hole up with what you just traced, and then trace out that inner circle. Cut this out and set it all aside. Now, let's work on the binding. We'll be creating a waterfall mechanism. Cut 2 long strips of white cardstock out. Length doesn't matter right now, and width depends on the size of your covers you just created. But I will have my exact measurements I used in my blog, which is listed in the description box. Then take one of the strips and score it at every ½ inch. Fold on your score lines to create the binding piece that you'll glue the covers and pages to, leaving a ½ inch spacer in between each. I'm only doing 3 pages plus the covers, so I need 5 pieces that point up to glue things to. I've got a handy graphic that shows you this mountain and valley design in case you've never created a binding like this before. Trim off any excess length and then glue together the scored sections that create the mountains with liquid adhesive. I've found using some clips helpful in making sure the sections stay glued together nicely. Take a measurement of the flat backside of this binding piece. Trim a piece off your second strip of white cardstock to fit the back of this binding and glue it in place with more liquid adhesive. This will create more stability and durability for your binding. Hang on to the rest of that white cardstock strip. We'll need it later. Now let's work on the pages of this album. Use the large embroidery hoop to trace out and cut your pages. You'll need 2 pieces for every page, as we'll be sandwiching these around the mountain of the waterfall binding. You'll also want to trace and cut some additional circles to create page flips. Here you can see me tracing and cutting out a few of these pages and flips. You'll notice that for the covers, I trace the outside of the hoop, but for the pages, I trace the inside. This ensures that when the album is closed, the pages don't spill out beyond the edge of the covers. To create the pockets, trace out half of the embroidery hoop onto some strips of patterned paper and cut this out. I created some horizontal pockets, some vertical pockets, and at least one that was vertical with a fun angle to the straight edge. As I've been cutting all of these pages, flips, and pockets out, I'm labeling everything with some sticky notes or low-tack paper craft tape to keep it all organized. Next, I'm adding some stitching around my covers and pages. I also sew the pockets on as well. If you're not a sewer, don't worry, this is totally optional. Just glue your pockets on with some liquid adhesive instead. I also sewed some ribbon for a closing mechanism to the inside of the back covers patterned paper and to the back of the middle layer patterned paper for the front cover. You'll see these later. And if you want to add any lace to your pockets, be sure to sew it on first and then sew the pocket to the base page. Or if you aren't sewing, add it on with some hot glue or tacky glue. Before gluing all these pages to the binding, let's add some rub-on transfers first. It will be a little easier to do it now rather than later. My biggest tip for transfers is to hold one corner of the transfer sheet when peeling it up. If you find that part of the design didn't transfer, you can easily lay it back down without the need to line it all up again. And since I'm adding transfers, I'm also planning out what ephemera I want to add to each page. I just hold it in place with some more low-tack craft tape. Now, let's work on assembling this mini album. Start by gluing the patterned layers of the front cover only to their corresponding chipboard layer using liquid glue. I like to use a brayer to help laminate the paper to the chipboard and smooth out any air bubbles or wrinkles. To give this album some shabby chic flair and to hide any edges that don't line up perfectly with the chipboard, sponge some heavy white gesso onto all the edges. Here's where you'll also see those ribbons I attached for the closing mechanism, but don't attach the patterned paper for the back cover chipboard piece yet. Now, before we start gluing things to the binding, let's glue the flips to their base page. Score in a bit on the top of each flip and fold on the crease. Then use liquid glue to attach the flip to the base page, adding glue to the little scored section at the top. Now let's glue the pieces to the binding. Start with the patterned paper for the inside of the back cover and glue it to the last mountain section on the binding. We are going to glue the pages in, working from back and moving to the front of the album. Glue the two patterned papers back to back, leaving the left side unglued. Once the pages are together on the right side, add some glue to the left side and then slide the page over the mountain of the binding mechanism and press it into place. I found using reverse action tweezers helpful in holding the page to the binding to allow the glue to cure for a minute or two before moving on to the next page. Glue all of your pages in like this until you get to the front cover. If you haven't already, glue your patterned paper to the inside of the front cover chipboard piece, leaving the left edge free like the pages. Then glue this to the remaining mountain piece of the binding by adding some more glue and slipping it over the remaining mountain of the waterfall binding mechanism. Before gluing on the remaining layers of the front cover and back cover, let's add a decorative spine to cover the waterfall binding and make it look nicer using that remaining strip of white cardstock. You can add patterned paper to this if you want, but I liked the contrast the white added. Add liquid and roller adhesive to one end of the strip and press it onto the first layer of the front cover, making sure to not cover the area that will be visible through the buttonhole layer. Once this is set, flip the album to the back and add more adhesive to the other edge of the strip. Carefully open your album to the center pages and press the right side onto the other end of that cardstock strip. Your album should be able to lay flat while open, even with this decorative strip on the binding. Then glue the back cover chipboard in place. Sponge some white gesso on the back cover's patterned paper and then adhere it to the chipboard. If you have a ribbon you added to close the album, make sure it's headed in the right direction when gluing this down. Now add the layer with the buttonholes to the front cover of your mini album, making sure to line up a ribbon closure if you added one. And finally, add the top layer of the front cover with more liquid adhesive. Your mini album is now ready to decorate and fill up the pockets. I'm going to show a little bit of this process, so if you want to see all the pages, be sure to stick around to the end of the video where I do a flip through of the entire album. First, I'm hot gluing some pom-pom trim to some other pockets. I'm not good at sewing on pom-pom trim yet. Then I add ephemera with roller and foam adhesive. I keep my foam adhesive to 1 mm thick so I don't overstuff my mini album. I also use some of the small, less dimensional flowers from Buttons and Keepsakes. Once I realized I had more room to work with, I went back and added some more dimensional things, like chipboard stickers and these bead center flowers from Sweet Spring. To fill the pockets, I create some tags using my paper trimmer. I distress the edges of my tags with a paper distresser, then check to make sure they fit in their pocket. I also stuffed some of the larger ephemera into these pockets as well. Some of these tags, like this one, were created from cardstock I embossed using the Buttons and Keepsakes embossing folder coordinates from SPELLBINDERS. I also used some of this embossed cardstock to decorate the bottom edge of patterned paper tags. Now, let's decorate the front cover. I'm using the Keepsake Swans etched metal die from SPELLBINDERS that coordinates with the Buttons and Keepsakes collection, and these are some samples I created a while back. I'm going to die cut these from SPELLBINDERS cardstock, and I'll take you through this so you can see what colors I used. I cut the swans and tails from classic white. I cut the tails a second time off camera because you can also use these as wings. For the eyes, I use Raven. The beaks are cut from beeswax. I'm using several colors for the cape and bows, including tutu, blush, and chiffon. Be sure to cut each of the bows out twice as well. I'll let the process of me gluing these swans together play out so you can see where each of those little die cuts goes. For the wings, I add a bit of foam adhesive at the tip and liquid glue at the base for more dimension. The bows get liquid glue only at the center so we can fluff them at the end for more dimension. When gluing these little pieces together, tweezers, a wax tip tool, and an acrylic stamp block can come in handy. I use the block to press the layers together after adding glue. The other two are great for handling those little die cuts. And once these swans are glued together, I fluff up the bow layers. To decorate the cover, I'll be using some flowers from Homegrown and Buttons and Keepsakes, as well as another rub-on transfer and a small frame mold from Buttons and Keepsakes. I like to dry fit everything first, so that is what you see me doing here, as well as tearing off any greens on the backs of the flowers. I like to do this to help me plan the placement of everything, and so I also know where to apply the rub-on transfer, which I add first to the cover. Then add the mold with hot glue. If you are adding some lace dangles under some of your flowers, add those to the backs of the flowers with hot glue. Then I also add stemmed flowers to the back of one of these flowers. Next, I work on gluing the flowers and the swans in place. I use hot glue on the flowers and foam adhesive for the swans. Then add an ephemera sentiment piece from Buttons and Keepsakes. I also add a little gem button to one of the flowers before dry brushing the flowers with heavy white gesso. Let's add some sparkle. I start by applying a clear gloss or adhesive to the edges of all of the petals. Then I sprinkle on glitter glass. You can also use regular glitter instead, and Prima has so many to choose from. Dump off the excess glitter and then add some sparkly gems to your cover. I have these tiny pink ones I'm using. Finally, I decided I wanted to add some white mats to the pockets in my mini album that I can add photos to later, so I die cut those and slide them in. I also decided to add some yarn to the tops of all of the tags inside the mini album as well. And that's it. Here's your look at the finished mini album. I hope you enjoyed this button-shaped interactive mini album built from scratch and that you give it a try. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments. I'm always happy to answer them. And until next time, happy crafting.